manager, John Drake. And boy, we have enjoyed getting to know him this week. A great story that really represents what the Little League community is all about. Back in 2016, John's wife, Lottie, was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was a really tough time for their family, as you see Lottie happy and healthy and in the stands here rooting on her daughter, Jada, this week. And it was a tough time, and in that tough time, the Little League community in Almaden really stepped up, starting with the president and the vice president of the league, Pete Fuquay and Brian Baggett, organizing meal trains, giving the kids rides, helping out any way that they could. And talking to Coach Drake, Natasha, earlier this week, he teared up just recalling the story and how much love he felt from the community. And he said, after that, if anybody in our community, in the Little League community, asks us to do anything, the answer is yes, because we can't repay them for everything they did for us.
Yeah, it's such an inspiring story, and just, you know, the power of community and just, you know, what Little League has meant to their family was just so neat to hear.
And so happy to see Lottie here, taking in the ball game as Northern California looks to earn a trip to Greenville, North Carolina in the Little League Softball World Series. Lottie looks comfortable. You got to stay in the shade here in San Bernardino. Lily Ferguson leading things off for Northern California. Swing and a miss there. Northern California hoping to get a little bit more production at the bottom of their lineup here. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout of the game for Brooklyn Sandberg Zygo. If you want your child to experience the community, the teamwork, and the fun of Little League baseball or softball, you visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. So Maya Parada due up. And I mentioned the bottom of this lineup having struggled a little bit here in this tournament. Ferguson, Parada, and Garibaldi Munoz combining to go just 2 for 33 at the plate. So if they can get a little bit more balance, get a runner on here, turn the lineup over, maybe that will spark something for their offense.
Yeah, and just right now with facing someone like Brooklyn Sandberg Zygo, just trying to hit hard ground balls and just trying to continue to have line drives, put the ball in play. They're struggling with just trying to have solid contact. She throws a lot of strikes, so you can err on being aggressive.
28 of the 34 pitches thrown. Strikes, and there's another one on the outside corner, 1-2. So Maya Parada says her favorite athlete of all time, Hulk Hogan. Oh. It's the 1-2. Burns the inside corner of the plate. Back-to-back punch-outs for BSZ.
Sandberg Zygo just doing what she does best, just locating her pitches well. Last strikeout on the outside corner, this strikeout on the inside corner. She is in control today.
2 outs, nobody on for Azarez Garibaldi Munoz, the lefty. First pitch swing, aggressive, just like Natasha said. But Trinity McIntyre right there to squeeze it for out number 3. Quick work for Brooklyn Sandberg Zygo. 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the third, still no score. And then some errors and some wild pitches on the Northern California defensive side of things opened it up for Southern California. They scored 4 in the 5th and 4 in the 6th to win it 11-4. And Northern California, after losing that game, the consolation side of the bracket, they win 3 games in a row. Since then, Southern California undefeated. That's how we've gotten here to our championship game. And you saw Brooklyn Sandberg Zygo mowing down batters here in this one, similar to what she did in game number 1. 6 innings pitched, allowing just 3 earned runs and striking out 5. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Southern California back up to the plate. Ava Santa Cruz to lead things off. The bottom half of the lineup for Southern California has stepped up big time in this tournament. A foul ball into left field. Santa Cruz, Carmen Bocanegra Trinity McIntosh, and Bailey Dell, those four at the bottom of the lineup for Southern California, have produced a ton of runs. 12 between the four of them, including a big 3 RBI triple by Bailey Dell in the Hawaii game. And it's got to give you so much confidence to screamer the one into the glove of Ortiz. That is another nifty defensive play, this time at the hot corner by Layla Ortiz.
And this is just such a great display of how you move your feet, you get to the ball. Your glove is where your feet are, and Layla Ortiz shuffling her feet over there, getting that ball. Great play.
Carmen Bocanegra with one out, nobody on. Strike called on the outside corner. Bocanegra says her favorite TV show is Survivor. Now, playing here in San Bernardino in this heat is good prep, I think, for going into the jungles of Survivor.
Yeah, I think she can handle it. If she actually tried out for the show, she'd be a good contestant.
Down in the count 0-2 to Maya Parada. Parada, no strikeouts yet. A lot of balls in play, and you're already seeing the stellar defense behind her. Off-speed pitch has Bocanegra guessing strikeout number 1 and out number 2 in the inning.
Parada just going to her changeup. She's doesn't have a lot of velocity with her fastball, but with that changeup when slow and slower, that is just so tough to hit.
It makes the fastball look a lot faster than it is.
Exactly.
There's Trinity McIntosh, 3 for 6 with 3 runs scored in the tournament. On the ground to Ortiz. Across the field to Aguirre. 1-2-3 inning. We've got a pitcher's duel here in the West Regional. Brooklyn Sandberg Zygo and Maya Parada bringing their A-game. Score. Got to stay cool. Got the ices, the tents. We've seen some umbrellas. Anything to beat the heat if you're watching our West Region Championship game. Eric Rothman, Tasha Watley here with you. Northern California coming up to the plate. A full day of regional championships here on ESPN. Mid-Atlantic game in Massapequa and Moscow, Pennsylvania taking on each other at 7 Eastern. And then Montana and Oregon here in the Northwest game in San Bernardino. That'll be later on tonight. And it'll be Kira Gutierrez. Things off for Northern California. And Natasha, one of the questions that was asked of these kids is, what's your superstitions leading into games? Kira Gutierrez gave us her entire routine coming into these games as she laces that one foul. She says, first of all, there's too many superstitions for me to count, but I cut my nails, then I put the left sock on before the right sock, then I put my lucky sliding shorts on, and then I put the pants on last, then the belt, and then I tuck in the jersey.
And Eric, like, those things matter. When you go out of order, like, that's when you know you're not going to have a good game. So I'm with you on that one, Kara.
And the question is, do you mix up the order if you have a bad game? Do you put the socks on last? Well, we'll see. Right now, she's had a really nice tournament. 5 for 14, 2 RBI, 3 runs scored for Kira Gutierrez, the second baseman. On the ground, slow roller, Santa Cruz, not enough time. And Gutierrez beats it down the line for a leadoff infield single. And we talked about the 60-foot bases. It's tough to make long throws on slow ground balls.
Yeah, that's softball. Softball's a quick game, and even where Ava Santa Cruz was, she did all the right things. She had the right approach, just a lot of speed from Kira Gutierrez, and you got to know the speed of the runner. You got to get rid of the ball, but she did all the right things right there.
There's Jada Drake. Opposite field, right at Hackler, who makes the catch, throw away. Again, the bounce back ability of Brooklyn Sandberg Zygo gives up the infield single. Next batter, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes her so great, and that's what defines a great pitcher. It's, you know, if you give up a hit, you give up a walk, what happens next? What do you do in that next pitch, that next at bat? And she's been doing an incredible job of bouncing back.
Brooklyn Scott lays down the front, perfectly placed, and beats the throw. Heading to third is Gutierrez. Execution to the max for Brooklyn Scott. Couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Yeah, and Brooklyn Scott just using her speed, doing a good job, sacrificing herself, getting this bunt down, getting it down on the ground, but relying on her speed to get her there.
First time a runner has reached third base in this game. Gutierrez standing on third with one out, ground ball to the right side. That should score a run. Fielding it and making the play is Serta. And Northern California breaks the deadlock with a run here in the fourth. Scott moves up to second base. A 1-0 game. Northern California gets the RBI from Danica Garcia.
And this is just a productive out, hitting behind the runner, going right side, knowing that you've got a runner on third. That's exactly what you want to do, picking up an RBI, and good job to Danica Garcia.
Here's Anya Kapoor, who singled and was stranded in the second inning. And that is something that we have learned about this Northern California team. If you let them hang around, which everybody in this tournament, aside from Southern California in game number 1, has let Northern California do, they wait, they're patient, and at some point they're going to strike.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's the equivalent. Is that like a fly or a bee where they're just hovering around waiting to make their attack? But I mean, honestly, like that's the best way to describe them. It's they find a way to stay in the game and they just make things happen.
So 1-1 count to Kapoor, who scored 6 runs through 4 games in this tournament. She's been on base a ton. And we'll also see now how this changes the strategy for Northern California defensively, because we've seen as they've gotten leads throughout this tournament late in games, they turn to Jada Drake in the pitching circle. Even though Maya Prada has been pitching excellent in this game, at some point, if they're leading, we expect to see Jada Drake. Will it be here in the bottom of the 4th inning? We don't know. Kapoor strikes out, but Northern California gets a run on the board. 1-0, bottom of the 4th. Into the bottom of the 4th inning, and that is the number of teammate Ariana Olmos. Olmos was the starting shortstop for this team. She was injured in the opening round game against Hawaii in a collision at second base. She's been unable to play the remainder of the tournament, so the players keeping Ariana in their thoughts. They've got her number on their arm. They've had her jersey hanging in the dugout, and it's really, you feel for Ariana because you know how hard she worked to make it here to regionals, and then to get hurt in that first game, it's tough, but obviously her teammates trying to keep her in mind throughout the rest of the week.
Yeah, and that's just so special. Like, this is a sisterhood, and I love that they're just remembering her, that she is with them, you know, whether she can be on the field or not, and it's a really neat thing to see.
Bailey Dell, the final batter in the order for Southern California before it turns back over to Brooklyn Sandberg-Zygo. Says she would like to be a nurse when she grows up. She's 3 for 6 with 3 ribbies in the tournament thus far. Takes a strike there, 1-1 from Maya Parada. So with the 1-0 lead, no change in pitcher yet for Northern California, but we do expect to probably see Jada Drake at some point in the circle.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I'm a big advocate. If it's not broke, don't fix it, and that's the thing that got them here.
Drake playing shortstop right now and makes the catch, 1 away.
But what I love so much about Jada Drake and Maya Prada, they are 2 completely different pitchers. They definitely complement each other. Maya Prada is more precision, slower, not going to throw it by you, but Jada Drake is a power pitcher. She goes for the Ks, and so she's a closer. And so I love how they complement one another, and they're a tag team.
Timeout on the field as John Drake, the manager for Northern California, comes over. And it looks like he may be making a pitching change here as the lineup turns over. So despite the fact that Parada has only thrown, I think it was 27 pitches, this will be the start of the 2nd time through the lineup for Southern California. and they are going to make a pitching change. So interesting here, a 1-0 lead, and we expect Jada Drake to come in to the circle when we return. Reyes Garibaldi Munoz, who has only pitched in 1 inning in this tournament. She threw 10 pitches in the comeback win against Utah. And so an interesting choice here. Second time through the lineup for Southern California, Natasha. They go with the lefty who hasn't had very much experience here in this tournament.
Well, I'm thinking it's all about matchups. So we've got a lefty on lefty. We've got Brooklyn Sandberg-Zygo, who's a lefty coming up. And so I'm thinking, you know, it's all about a matchup, and I'm here for it.
So Parada's day is done. 3 1/3 innings, giving up just 1 hit and no runs. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brooklyn Sandberg-Zygo stands in. First pitch swinging, laced on a hop to Gutierrez, who makes the play for out number 2. Garibaldi Munoz, Natasha, wins the lefty-on-lefty matchup with just 1 pitch in.
Yeah, and the plan worked, and you can see Brooklyn Sandberg-Zygo up in the box. She had her plan and ropes it, but that D game right there.
Gutierrez with the nice snag. Here's Michaela Thomas, the catcher with 2 outs. Skipped in there. Michaela's favorite singer is Rihanna. That one over the head of Thomas. You see it's the 0-3 on the arm, on the left arm, and then on the right arm, the I Heart Ari, Ariana Olmos.
So cute.
2-0 count to Thomas. 3-0. No Southern California batter has walked today. Garibaldi Munoz way behind in the count. Ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Michaela Thomas. So the tying run on first with 2 outs. And here is Ariana Serta. When you talk about who you want up to the plate in a big-time situation, it's Serta, the game-winning triple against Arizona. Stands in with the tying run at first base and 2 outs. Good job by Brooklyn Scott to keep that ball in front of her. We've already seen Scott throw out a runner at second base, so Michaela Thomas staying put at first. And Serta stands in. Gets a 1-hopper, backhanded by Drake. Long throw, not in time. Infield single for Serta, and there's 2 aboard for Southern California.
Jada Drake just a little bit shaded up the middle on this play, but gets to this ball and gets it to it cleanly, but just, again, our game is so fast, and that throw doesn't get there in time.
2 outs, 2 on for Katrina Ramirez, who fouls that one off her foot. And it does not feel good.
Game is so fast, and that throw doesn't get there in time.
2 outs, 2 on for Katrina Ramirez, who fouls that one off her foot. And it does not feel good. Ramirez, the third baseman for Southern California, took that foul ball hard off the ankle. Gonna walk it off, pick up the bat, get back in there. See what kind of mobility she has now after the left ankle seems to be bothering her after the foul ball.
Yeah, that is the worst. Not one of my favorite things when you foul off a ball into your shin, your foot, and it just goes numb, and you're waiting for it to come back.
0-1 to count. Thomas, the runner at second. Serta, the runner at first. Scott again keeps that pitch in front of her. Is this the opening that Southern California needed? The 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Reyes, Starvaldi, Munoz just trying to get out of the inning. Runners go. No throw. So pitch in the dirt. And Thomas and Serta both advance. Now the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second for Southern California, and a 3-1 count on Katrina Ramirez. Things were going so smoothly for Northern California with Parada on the mound, and now the biggest threat of the game for Southern California. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Alina Elias. Lefty on lefty matchup once again. Elias, who was hit by a pitch, caught stealing. Back in the second inning. Lifted into right field. Kapoor going back and makes the grab. Southern California strands the bases loaded, unable to score a run, and after 4 complete innings, Northern California clinging to a 1-0 lead here in the West Region Championship.